We're November 10th workshop meeting of the Commonwealth Transportation Board. And before I get started, let me just into the agenda. Let me say a couple things. One is today is the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Marine Corps, which is pretty darn cool. But just as cool for me, it's also the 250th anniversary of the founding of Hampton-Sydney College, who was founded by James Madison and Patrick Henry and a bunch of other types of that ilk. And so the governor is going today to address a large assembly at the school, and the topic is civility, which I think is appropriate for him and appropriate for the time. And so a great day in that regard. So we're going to travel back to school this evening and celebrate that founding on November 10th. We also, Tuesday, tomorrow, is Veterans Day. And I'll sort of tie all this together. So we got the Marines, we got Veterans Day, and Hampton-Sydney College was in the formation of our country when it all started. And so as you came in this morning, you saw a bunch of portraits, if you will, along the hallway, and those are veterans who work at BDOT, and we're saluting them and all the veterans and all the deceased veterans who've done so much to allow us to be here like we are today. And so just take note of that, if you will, and I hope you will think about those folks tomorrow as we go through Veterans Day. So with that, Dr. Smoot has an announcement he'd like to make.
Well, Mr. Secretary, you have actually already said what I wanted to note. This is a very historic day in the life of the Commonwealth, and that it was exactly 250 years ago today that the first classes at Hampton-Sydney were taught. Shep was not there for those.
I came the following semester.
He came the following semester and has been closely identified with Hampton-Sydney ever since. I know both as an alum, as a board member, and as a supporter of an institution that's had a great impact on the Commonwealth over the centuries now. So, Shep, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. You know, it was sitting in the boardroom, it was sort of interesting. Because when you sit there, and it's not unlike here if you sort of go back and look at who served on this board for the last 50 years or so. But you sit there and you think, you know, like Patrick Henry was sitting here, or James Madison was sitting here. And that makes you sort of think about you need to up your game a little bit, right? You know, like, so it's a cool thing. But in the board meetings, we used to read meeting minutes from hundreds of years back. And they were so interesting, you know, what they were talking about 180 years ago or 150 years ago in the board meetings. So it was really quite fun, but I'm proud of the place. And it's interesting because it was sort of started, and this is my own view, if you will, but sort of started as an outgrowth of the Presbytery out of Princeton. So Princeton was, you know, the Presbyterian school, and they sent sort of missionaries out. So one of their professors, Dr. Smith, came and started Hampton-Sydney with the help of Patrick Henry and James Madison. And they didn't say it at the time, but it was a little bit about those royalists in Williamsburg versus the Presbyterians out in Hampton-Sydney College in Virginia. And along the way, they started MCV. They started Union Theological Seminary, so it's a pretty interesting place, and interesting in the nation's and the state's history. So we'll leave it at that. They gave me a gavel back. We had to track it down. All right, thank you, Dr. Smoot. All right, now we've gotten all that. Let's get down to some business. All right, the first item on the agenda today is item number 1. It's smart scale project cancellation, purchase and additional bus shelters. I'm in the wrong thing. The first thing not on the agenda this morning, geez, I got going about Hampton-Sydney and the Marines, and I forgot the thing that was the most important. So if you'll join with me to cement all that together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Steve. So I'm talking about all the history of and the veterans and how important they are and didn't even do the flag. What was I thinking? All right, so am I good now? Good to go. First item on the agenda, Smart Scale Project cancellation, Ms. Kim Pryor. Good morning, ma'am. How are you today?
Morning, I'm well, thank you.
Thank you.
Today I'm going to present to you a proposed smart scale project cancellation in the Hampton Roads District. As a reminder, once a project has been selected for funding through the Smart Scale program, only the board can cancel the project. This project was a bus purchase and additional bus shelters to support a new transit service. It was submitted by the Williamsburg Area Transit Authority in round 2 of Smart Scale. The original project cost is $334,000, fully funded with high priority funds. The original scope, as I mentioned before, included the purchase of a medium-duty bus and the construction of 2 new bus shelters to support the new line. Nominal benefits were included across all of the factory areas. And just as a snapshot, the project was $335,000, funded with high priority funds. It had a score of 43.29. The rank was 8 out of 25 in that cohort for the district, and there are no expenditures on the project.
Kim, when was round 2 awarded?
2018.
So folks, you know, just listen. Round 6 is not perfect, right? But Kim, maybe you can help me here, because I haven't asked you about this. So I'm going to buy a bus, and I'm put up 2 bus shelters in 2018. Now, I know COVID came and all that, right? So 7 years later, I haven't put up any shelters, and I haven't bought a bus, and I'm going to cancel the project. This isn't like, you know, a 50-mile, 30-mile road construction I mean, we did 495 next. We're going to cut the ribbon on that in a couple weeks, in 4 years. Well, not totally, but from award. Can anybody help me with this? Why does it, what, did they just sort of decide they weren't going to do it, and now they're just finally sort of coming to that?
I think there was a considerable discussion about potentially changing part of the scope. And so there was quite a bit of negotiation back and forth with DRPT. I don't want to speak for DRPT, but I know that that probably led to some of the delay. Probably not all of it. But.
Ms. Robinson is on vacation today. Maybe we should phone a friend, see if she has anything to say. I hope you're listening, Ms. Robinson. I'm just teasing. She's been there 9 months. So be it. But I mean, this is part of the problem, right? This is reflective of part of the problem. And they either need to get on with it or not, right? But this is out of the 6-year plan now, right? If it went in 2018, we're now in 2025. So we're ready to move it, if you will. You know, and this is a bus shelter and a bus. This is not a road construction project. This is a bus shelter and a bus. Right. All right, we're moving on. And are there questions? Yes.
Just one question.
Mr. Gribben.
So when these get canceled, do they pay interest on the funds they get? Is there any kind of penalty at all?
They don't have the funds. We have the funds.
So there's literally
We get
no.
interest. We get the interest upside.
Okay. So we're holding on to it, it's accumulating interest, but none of it distributed. But there's no sort of penalty for knocking other potential candidates in round 2 out, which could have deployed the funds. Might be at some point be worth looking into how we better align the
Well,
incentives on this.
and for fairness, right? That was the second round. You know, it's taken a while to sort of work through the process and the kinks, but you know, at some point, we're around 6 now here, folks. Right? We got to your point, Mr. Griffin, we got to get with the program, and if you're submitting stuff and then 7 years later or 6 years later bailing on it, like, that's a, you know, maybe a year, but not 6 or 7. Yes, ma'am.
Is this project being replaced by the new?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Stant? She was asking about the T-POF award. No, it's not the same thing.
This was high priority, and I assume that under our new definition of high priority, that this type of
Pryor?
project would not have been considered under our new definition of high-priority projects. I just don't see bus shelters as being a high-priority project.
Ms. Pryor?
That's correct. This wouldn't be
So there you
funded
go.
today.
But it doesn't matter to me, I mean, it matters to me that it was a bus shelter and a bus in terms of how long it should be able to take to execute it. It doesn't matter to me beyond that per se, but it did bother me as well that a bus and two shelters are considered high priority in the state for this kind of expenditures. Because I don't. They may be important, but for a pot of money that's got, you know, $1 billion in it, or excuse me, $500 million in it, 600 million, and this is, you know, anyway, enough said. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much.
So I'll be bringing this back for formal action next month.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. Mr. Commissioner, lots to do. It's snowing.
Yeah, well, that was part of my comments for this morning. So the winter season is upon us. The Bristol, Salem, and Stanton districts have all mobilized this morning in various forms, mostly in the Bristol district that has seen up to an inch of snow out there. National Weather Service is forecasting another 1 to 4 inches tonight. That does not mean that it'll be on our roads. The fortunate thing is that our temperatures on pavements have been very high and continue to be, so our efforts have panned out this morning. We do have a couple icy spots, US 19 in Tazewell, 102 in Tazewell, Route 58 in Washington, Route 160 in Wise, and Route 183 in Wise as well as of this morning. Our crews are out there hitting those hot spots again. The temperatures down in Bristol aren't expected to be above freezing, Tom, so we'll experience that overnight. But our crews are ready. We start our preparations well into the summer, so we are prepared for this, but it's starting awfully early this year.
It's the earliest it's been in a really long time, but whatever that means.
Yeah, I hope that's not an indication. The only other thing, Mr. Secretary, is to brief the board about another milestone that has been reached on the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel project. We have successfully shifted traffic over last weekend to the new bridge, which is the 8-lane bridge that will be carrying the permanent facilities. We did shift the eastbound traffic over to that bridge, only carrying 2 lanes today. Ultimately, we'll be carrying 8 lanes in its future capacity. So that was another major milestone that has been reached. So we can see, as I've said before, we can see a light at the end of the tunnel approaching. I wish it was a little bit faster, but we continue to make significant progress on the project. Mr. Secretary.
Any questions, Commissioner? Could you give us a brief update on Coleman and the non-automated opening situation? Do you have anything on that?
Mr. Secretary, what we have on Coleman is a situation where the locking mechanism and the gate are not functioning in unison with each other. So we're in the process of decoupling the two to allow the locking mechanism to work independent of the gate or the grating. This is just a situation where we have to manually ensure that the locking mechanism happens and/or help the grates close when they connect to each other. So we anticipate this to be another month or two in its operation for a manual operation. We've worked with the Coast Guard and the U.S. Navy to give us a 2-hour heads up so that we can have our crews on site should the grating and the locking mechanism need the additional help.
What is the estimated time that the additional help? I know we've got a 2-hour window that we asked for, but to actually go through the process, is it, do you know?
I met with the district engineer on Friday to get an update on it. He was still working on some answers for me. I don't have that.
She should be okay. Why don't you just tell me? All right, anyone else? All right, thank you very much. Director Robinson, as I indicated, is on a well-deserved vacation this week, and so she does not have she's not here to give a report, but the director's report is included in your package, and I refer you to it. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to respond to those as well. All right. Anything else in the workshop meeting? Let me just say this before I adjourn this meeting. Appreciate you all coming in for a short meeting. It's important for us to hit a couple of things we needed to hit, and so I know we got you. We got you all here, and some plans were changed, and it's not a long meeting, but it's important, so appreciate you being here. That concludes the workshop meeting. I'll adjourn that meeting, and I'll call to order the action meeting of the Commonwealth Transportation Board on here at 10 a.m. Are there any public comments today? Anybody with the public would like to speak? All right, hearing none, the minutes were distributed in your package. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Dr. Smoot moves. Is there a second? Mr. Minshew seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Thank you very much. Item number 1, Ms. Pryor. Action on the FY 26 through 31 6-year improvement program transfers September 20 through October 17th. Ms. Pryor, welcome back.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, members of the board. In your packet is a copy of the monthly transfer report. I would point out that there are 2 district grant transfers that exceed the threshold in the board's policy. One is in Hampton Roads, one is in Salem. Both have concurrence from the district board member, and I recommend your approval.
Comments or questions? Ms. Sellers moves. Is there a second? Mr. Coleman seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Thank you very much. Item number 2, action on addition of projects to the 6-year improvement program for fiscal years 26 through 31. Ms. Pryor.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, members of the board. I have a proposed amendment of one project in the Salem district. It is funded through the MPO with Regional Surface Transportation Program funds, and I recommend your approval.
Mr. Secretary, move approval.
We have a motion. Ms. Sellers seconds. Dr. Smoot motions. Ms. Sellers seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Thank you very much. Item number 3, action on smart scale project budget increase for Route 52 safety enhancements in Bland County located within the Bristol District. Ms. Pryor.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Members of the board, you'll recall last month I briefed the board on a proposed high-priority budget increase for a project in the Bristol District. I recall there were protracted right-of-way negotiations, some additional asphalt items, and inflation and updated unit prices that led to the cost increase. I recommend your approval of the $1.2 million budget increase.
Hey, a million here, a billion there. Is there a motion to approve, Mr. Folks?
Mr. Secretary, I move approval.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Folks moves. Mr. Coleman seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Thank you very much. Item number 4, action on smart scale project cancellation, Country Club Commons Connector Trail located within the Northern Virginia District.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, members of the board. You'll recall last month I briefed you on a proposed project cancellation for the Country Club Commons Trail in Northern Virginia. Since the project was selected, there were significant concerns raised by the adjacent community, and they have requested that the project be canceled, and I recommend your approval.
Mr. Minshew.
I should defer to my colleague, Mr.
Oh, excuse me,
Griffin.
Mr. Gribbin. I apologize.
Yeah, move to approve.
Mr. Minshew. There you go. I was distracted. We have a motion and we have a second. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Pryor. Item number 5, action on approval of amendments to the rules and regulations governing relocation assistance, removal of associated guidance documents. Ms. Joanne Maxwell. Ms. Maxwell, good morning.
Morning, members of the board, Mr. Chair. I'm here just for one regulatory reform item, which involves elimination of a guidance document and amendment of the regulations relating to relocation assistance. If CTB approves those actions, VDOT will proceed to eliminate that obsolete guidance document and amend the regulation accordingly.
Folks, let me say this. You've heard us talk a little bit before about the work of the governor and this administration to reduce and streamline regulation. And so the result has been greater than we'd hoped for. And there's been an incredible amount of, redundancy, references, inappropriate stuff, whatever you want to call it, all the above removed. And the whole concept is just make it easier to get through while still preserving the things that need to get preserved. And I will tell you that VDOT led the entire state in that regard. Now, having said that, VDOT leads the entire state in regulations, at least close to that. And so they're huge, it's a huge regulatory beast because of all the guidelines we have and all the things you can imagine. But anyway, they did a fantastic job and have driven a lot of unnecessary stuff out. I can't remember, and we're not in the housing field per se, but I think the number is, $20,000 a house is what it costs us just by reducing some stuff that didn't make sense. And so, we've had a big focus on it. The governor will continue to announce sort of where we are in terms of that, but a lot has been done. And I'm just telling you, VDOT's led the way. So Commissioner, thank you, and Deputy Commissioner and all the team. Ms. Maxwell, anything else? So do we have a motion to approve the action? Mr. Coleman moves. You got a second? There's further discussion. Mr. Gribbin.
Mr. Secretary, I just want to commend VDOT for doing this. As a former government lawyer, I was always maddened by the fact that we just layer on new rules year after year after year, and nobody really goes back and cleans everything up. So I just want to commend the team for taking the time to work on something that substantially is really important, but it's not all that visible, and it's complicated, so it's hard to appreciate the value of what they've done.
Well, and I will tell you, unlike a lot of places in the state, a lot of agencies, VDOT had a pretty robust review process, and we were doing things all the time, but not near like they supercharged it for this. And so, just the results have been fantastic, so thank you for that. So we have a motion, I think it was Mr. Coleman, Mr. Good seconded, is that right? Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Thank you, Ms. Maxwell.
Thank you.
Ms. Farmer, action on revised fiscal year 2026 annual budgets for the Commonwealth Transportation Fund and for the Virginia Department of Transportation. Action on the allocation of funds made available to the Priority Transportation Fund and the Priority Transportation Fund and Garvey bond amounts available in the FY 26 to 31 SIP. Ms. Farmer, welcome. Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Secretary, members of the board. The title might say it all, but I'll go through what the resolution accomplishes.
That's a lot of words there.
So the resolution recognizes the excess revenue computed for fiscal year 2025 and acknowledges it as $103.5 million to be added to the fiscal year 2026 budgets. So in your packet, you have the revised budgets for consideration. It also allocates the funding to projects in that amount. It also allocates existing funding in the 6-year program in PTF as well as in Garvey bond proceeds to projects as enumerated in Attachment A, and then amends those projects to the current 6-year improvement program. Those projects were presented last month in the workshop by Deputy Secretary Lawson. Be happy to take any questions.
Any comments or questions? Ms. Sellers?
Again, thank you for the Falmouth Bridge inclusion. Mr. Hennion gets to come in and put a rebuild for the Falmouth Bridge that people have been asking for a really long time. So it's very.
Thank you. Anyone else? Do we have a motion to approve? Ms. Sellers moves. Mr. Good seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Any abstentions? Thank you very much, Ms. Sellers. Ms. Farmer, excuse me. And Ms. Sellers. And Mr. Good. Next item on the agenda from the Right-of-Way and Utilities Division, Mr. Sean Nelson. Action on item number 7, action on limited access control change, Route 33 bypass in Greene County located within the Culpeper District. Mr. Nelson, welcome.
Morning, Mr. Secretary,
Thanks
members
for
of the board.
coming on down.
Yes. I've got one request for you today from a landowner developing property located partially in Greene County in the town of Standardsville. The request is for a limited access break along the Route 33 bypass to support a right-in, right-out access point. The town of Standardsville supports. Greene County has provided a letter of acknowledgement, and the department has reviewed and recommend your approval.
Any comments or questions? Do we have a motion to approve? Captain Sellers moves, Mr. Lawson seconds. Is there further discussion? That's what I said. Hey, Captain Byers moves. Mr. Lawson seconds. You stayed up too late, ma'am. I did. I know. Captain Byers moves. Mr. Lawson seconds. Is there further discussion? Ms. Sellers? She thirds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. With any abstentions? Thank you very much, Mr. Nelson, appreciate it. This does not look like Terry Short. This looks like Angel Dean. We're taking a short break. You know, I've recently gotten into the internet TV thing. I didn't do that before, but when I've, simply in Richmond, I don't have like, and I like it when they go to the timeout, they go to the sort of, instead of a commercial, you just chill for like 2 minutes. So I think that's what Mr. Stant was doing. He was just trying to get us to chill a little bit. Are you finished now, Mr. Stant?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. So glad.
Ready to go home.
All right, let's get back to it. Item number 8, action on the economic development access to Progress Park project in Wythe County, located within the Bristol District. Ms. Dean.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Secretary, members of the board. As briefed to you all in October, Wythe County requests $700,000 to construct an access road into Progress Park to facilitate the development of Lot 35, a 100-acre undeveloped property in the park. Wythe County will administer the project. VDOT has reviewed the estimate and evaluated the project, and it received a suitable score of 85 out of 100, and as such, we recommend your approval.
Any comments or questions? Motion to approve.
This being in the Wythe County, part of the Bristol District, my colleague is a resident of Wythe County, and I'd be honored if she'd make the motion.
Dunlop. Ms. Dunlop moves.
I'll second it.
Mr. Fogue seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. With any abstentions? Thank you very much. Item number 9 received some questions from one of our board members early this morning, and we were not able to, our team is on the road to Vaco and all sorts of places. So instead of trying to hash through those multiple questions here without the appropriate people, we're going to push this into the December meeting. And obviously, listen, this is a tight meeting, but obviously, and sometimes we don't send things out on time and you all complain about it. So I'll complain back. So if you get it the month before, don't send me an email at 1:46 in the morning, the day of the meeting, because we may not be able to get the answers appropriately answered by then. But I do appreciate people getting into the weeds on it because it's important stuff. So I'm just kidding a little bit there. All right, thank you, Ms. Dean. Item number 10, Mr. Lawson. Action on adoption of policy on use of project labor agreements for projects funded with allocations by the board. Mr. Lawson.
Morning, Mr. Secretary, members of the board.
Welcome.
As the Secretary mentioned, last month I presented to you a policy for the board to consider that would be used for the, in order to determine whether or not a project was a good fit for a project labor agreement. That the policy was attached and provided to you for your consideration. And Mr. Secretary, unless there are comments and questions, I'd like to ask for the board's approval.
Is there any comments or questions? Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
Mr. Secretary, I move approval of the motion.
Good moves. Ms. Green seconds. Yes, Ms. Sellers.
So looking at this, it appears there may be one project that's impacted in Loudoun County. But is that included? It's like a Route 15 widening project that NVTA money's on, and they have proffers and local money on. Would that be impacted by this?
Unless they've asked for a project labor agreement.
It's one of the, there's only like 3 projects in the
We don't have any
state.
current active ones,
Okay,
Commissioner.
because it goes to bid next year, and I just want to make
We
sure.
have no current active ones that we're aware of.
Okay. All right, that's my only question. Thanks.
Anyone else? We've got a motion from Mr. Good. We had a second from Ms. Green. Further discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Thank you very much.
Sir.
Mr. Coker. You had a good run last month. How we doing?
Doing okay this month, too.
We don't like okay.
We're doing excellent, sir.
There you go.
Let me revise my response.
There you go. There you go.
Mr.
Coker,
Secretary.
tell us about our bids this month.
Yes, sir. Mr. Secretary, members of the board, I have 5 projects for your consideration today. Clicker's gone. Can you go to the next slide, please? First up, it's Order N04, Hampton Roads District, UPC 117033. This is a sound barrier wall project in the city of Portsmouth. We received 1 bid from Joseph B. Fay Company for $31.3 million. This is within range, and I recommend award.
Any comments or questions? There is a motion to approve. Mr. Stanton moves. Mr. Coleman, you seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed say no. With any abstentions? Thank you very much. Order number N29, Mr. Coker.
Order N29 in the Northern Virginia District. This is UPC 118393. This is a retaining wall repair project in Fairfax County. We received 2 bids. The low bidder was Martin's Construction Corporation for $6.5 million. This is within range, and I recommend award.
Comments or questions? Mr. Griffin.
Move that we award.
There's a motion. Is there a second? Mr. Minshew, thank you. Is there further comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Very much. Order number N30, Mr. Coker.
Order N30, again in the Northern Virginia District. This is UPCs 118396 and 126832. This is a bridge rehabilitation project in Fairfax County. We received 4 bids. Again, the low bidder was Martin's Construction Corporation for $7.7 million. This is within range, and I recommend award.
These related?
No, sir. Just same county.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Mr. Griffin moves. Is there a second, Mr. Minshew?
Second.
Is there a second? Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? All right, next, order number 273 in the Salem District. Mr.
Yes, sir.
Coker.
This is Order 273 in the Salem District, UPCs 126917 and 126918. This is a 2026 surface treatment project on the secondary systems in various counties. We received one bid from Whitehurst Paving Company for $7.2 million. This is within range, and I recommend award.
Are there any comments or questions?
Mr. Secretary, move approval.
Dr. Smoot moves, Ms. Dunlop seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Any abstentions? Thank you very much. Mr. Coker, order number 477.
Yes, sir. This is our last project today. This is order number 477 in the Richmond District. This is UPC 20186 and 127764. This is a 2026 Cape Seal project on the secondary systems in various counties. We received two bids. The low bidder was Slurry Pavers Incorporated for $5.2 million. This is within range, and I recommend award.
Any comments or questions? Is there a motion to approve?
Secretary, I move approval.
We have a motion and we have a second. Mr. Davis moves, Ms. Zeller seconds. Is there further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Are there any abstentions? Thank you very much, Mr. Coker. Let me say this before you leave.
Sir.
You know, for the last decade, over a decade, we've been sort of working on the whole bid and the range and all that process. I remember going back a long time ago when this sort of got a lot of attention. And a couple of the board members worked very closely with the staff to try to tighten the process up and give us comfort that when we're bidding on things or when we're approving things that they're. So I make that because one of the things that, you know, that makes the market work is competition, right? And if you have enough competitors, you sort of don't worry the same way than if you don't. And you can see in these bids, we've had one, we had two, we had four, which was pretty healthy. We had one, and then we had two, and that was it. But they were all within range. Now, if our range is good, then we're good, right? And so hopefully our range is good, and that's the work that went into this. And there's sort of two estimates we do and so forth. But I just want to thank the staff, and I think it's working well. I would just encourage everybody to keep that range as tight as it can be kept, because at the end of the day, we're sort of trusting here that if it's within the range, but there's not a lot of competition, that it's a good price, right? So it's so important that that is reflective of that. So I'd ask you to continue to work your magic in that regard and make sure those ranges are reasonable. Got to be reasonable, but they should be tighter than wider, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you deal with the exceptions.
Mhm.
And we've certainly done that over the last 4 years here as well. So congratulations and good work.
Sure.
Any questions about any of that? Are there any, is there any new business to come before the board? And so before I adjourn you, just let me thank you again for letting us drag you in here to get a couple of these things that are important to get done. We'll push the revenue sharing guidelines update to the next meeting. We will have a December meeting and we will have a January meeting. Will be the final two meetings of the board under this administration. Not today. I wish you well. Remember the veterans, folks. Couldn't do any of this without the fact that we have veterans and that we have active duty today. So pray for them and keep them safe so they can keep us safe. With that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.